Most people think that if you hate crowded places, you're either antisocial, dramatic, or just too sensitive. That assumption does real damage. It pressures people to override their nervous system, ignore their limits, and then feel ashamed when they shut down, snap at someone, or leave early. The problem isn't that they can't handle people. The problem is that we misunderstand what crowds actually do to the human brain. Let's start by being honest about something. Crowded environments are neurologically demanding. They are loud, visually chaotic, unpredictable, and socially loaded. For some people, that stimulation is energizing. For others, it's exhausting within minutes. And that difference is not about character, it's about nervous system wiring. Why your nervous system reacts before your personality does. Before we talk about labels like introvert or extrovert, we need to talk about arousal. Psychologist Hans Eysenck proposed that people differ in baseline cortical arousal. In simple terms, some brains are already running hot, meaning they require less external stimulation to feel alert and engaged. Others run cooler and seek more stimulation to feel the same level of activation. When it's about anxiety, and when it's not, we also need to separate healthy preference from clinical anxiety. Avoiding crowds doesn't automatically mean you have social anxiety disorder or agoraphobia. According to diagnostic frameworks like the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, a disorder involves significant distress or impairment. If someone avoids crowded spaces but lives a full, functional life, with strong relationships, meaningful work, and no persistent fear, that's a preference, not pathology. However, if the avoidance is driven by intense fear of panic, humiliation, or the inability to escape, and it restricts daily functioning, then it may cross into anxiety territory. The key difference is internal experience. Is it overstimulation and exhaustion, or is it catastrophic thinking and fear? Understanding that difference really helps to prevent overpathologizing normal nervous system variation. Why do some people actually crave crowds? To understand crowd avoidance, we also need to understand the opposite. Some people feel alive in dense social environments. Concerts, festivals, packed cities, these energize them. This often aligns with higher sensation-seeking traits. Psychologist Marvin Zuckerman studied sensation-seeking and found that some individuals actively pursue intense sensory and social experiences. Their dopamine systems respond positively to novelty and complexity. Neither profile is superior. Problems arise when we moralize the difference, when we call one boring and the other chaotic. They're simply different nervous system economies. So, what actually helps if you hate crowded places? Telling yourself to just get used to it rarely works in the long term, but avoiding all crowds forever can shrink your life. The practical middle ground is regulation, not force. First, manage duration. Many people who dislike crowds can tolerate them in short intentional doses. Decide in advance how long you'll stay, and leave before you hit exhaustion. This really builds trust with yourself. Second, control what you can. Stand near exits, take sensory breaks, step outside periodically. Having an escape plan dramatically lowers threat perception. Third, regulate your body. Slow breathing, grounding techniques, and lowering caffeine intake before a crowded event can reduce baseline arousal. When your physiological load is lower, your tolerance increases. Fourth, challenge the shame, not the preference. The goal isn't to become someone who loves chaos. The goal is to understand your threshold and operate intelligently within it. And if fear is the main driver, gradual exposure works. But it really has to be structured. Start with small, manageable environments first, and increase complexity slowly. The brain learns safety through repetition, not through overwhelm. Relationships and the crowd mismatch. One of the most painful dynamics I've observed is when partners or friends have different stimulation needs. One wants packed social weekends, the other wants quiet evenings. This becomes a moral argument instead of a nervous system discussion. The solution isn't forcing sameness, it's negotiation. Attend the big event together, but leave early. Alternate social intensity weekends with recovery time. Or, attend some events separately. Understanding the psychology behind crowd aversion removes the personal attack. It's not, "You're no fun." It's our nervous systems recharge differently. That shift alone can really save relationships. the deeper pattern beneath it all. At its core, hating crowded places is often about energy management. Some people gain energy from high-density social input. Others spend energy in those environments. The mature response isn't to shame either side. It's to recognize your pattern and design your life accordingly. Cities, careers, friendships, these all have stimulation profiles. When your environment constantly exceeds your threshold, you live in chronic stress. When it's aligned, you function clearly, calmly, and creatively. That awareness is powerful. It turns self-criticism into self-knowledge. If you've always felt wrong for disliking crowded places, understand this: your brain is not defective. It's responsive, it's tuned in, it's protecting your bandwidth. The real psychological skill isn't forcing yourself to fit every environment. It's learning how your nervous system works and making conscious choices from that awareness. And that's what this channel is about. Not pop psychology, not labels, but understanding the deeper mechanics of behavior so you can live more intentionally. If this helped you see yourself, or someone you care about, more clearly, subscribe to It's All Psychological. Share this with someone who's tired of being called antisocial just because they value calm. The more we understand the human mind, the less we shame it, and the better we design our lives around what's real.